Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem amma ba'd. So continuing yesterday's lesson. So today I want to discuss with you briefly, introduce you to different tenses. So you know how tasrif works. Now what is tasrif about? We discuss the tenses about those, and the past tense is called al-fa'l al-madi. Okay. So in Arabic, there are many tenses, but as a starter, I'm going to give you 4 tenses. So you have a verb, it has to be the past tense. What does past tense mean? In English, what does it mean, past tense?
Something already done.
Something already done, it happened already. Present tense means? It's happening. Future? Meaning? It's going to happen. And another one you have is imperative, meaning if I give a command, do something. Sit, stand. It's not a tense, but it's saying do something. So these are the four main tenses that we're going to discuss. This will be in more detail later on, but for now this is a starter. You call the past tense al-madi. What do you call it? Al-madi. Al-madi is the past tense. And that's what we're going to discuss today. But obviously, just finishing this off, there's one tense for both of these. I think you started that today as well. It's called al-mudari. What's it called? Al-mudari. This includes both the present and the future. And how and all the differences, I'll discuss that in another lesson, inshallah. And then you have this one called al-amr. So basically, all the fi'l, so we were doing here, you have kalima, ism, you're studying in nahwa, and ism, you have ma'rifah, nakira, and all those discussions. And then now we're doing verbs. So in verbs, well, there's a verb, and the verb will either be al-madi, al-mudari, or al-amr. And we're going to start off with al-madi. Okay? Good. Right. Now, how does this madi work? So al-fi'l al-madi is past tense. And what happens is that you have a root, like fataha. Now this fatah is a variable. Any verb on this pattern, fataha, daraba, sami'a, qatala, rakiba, khalaqa, ja'ala, any word you have will come on this. So instead of having fataha, you will have then, instead of fa, you have ja'ala, sami'a. So this is the variable. And the constants are these that won't change. These endings have to apply to these sigha. Am I making sense? So you learn fa'ala. So fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna. This is the ending of the madi. And this ending has to come with each sigha. So the first one, wahid muzakkar ghaib, that doesn't have any ending. It's just the form that you get in the book or the dictionary, that's the form that will be the wahid muzakkar ghaib. And after that, the other 13 you have a particular ending. And you need to kind of visualize these endings. Because why? This will help you recognize the sighas very quickly. If you understand, okay, ta is tasniya muannas ghaib. The tum is jama muzakkar hadir. The tu, you have the example here, ta, at, ta, ti, tu. You realize, okay, these are the wahids. So if you I will go through the practice of this inshallah as well. But if you get this pattern in your mind, then you'll be able to recognize the sighas much easier. Okay, and we'll practice that later on. So these are the endings. So the madi is this is the original form, and that will be the same form for the wahid muzakkar ghaib. And you add these endings, and these endings then create the different sighas, which have the different meanings. Is that clear? Yeah? So the fa'ala, example you have before, fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna until the end. But then you can apply it to all different verbs. Okay? And this is the ending. And the fataha is a variable. It could be fataha, fa'ala, daraba, qatala, and different verbs. Okay? Right. Now, because past tense, how do you translate this? Okay? Now, if you look at it here, now, you have to have, as I said to you before, when we were discussing the reasons of having so many sigha, is that there's a pronoun inside. So when you translate any of these, you have to do 2 things. You have to get the right verb. So because it's a madi, madis usually have ed in English. For example, opened, disliked, closed. Sat, but sat is sit to sat. That's irregular, but you have to learn from English. I can't teach you English in here. But generally, many of them have ed, so you have to have this one. So open. What's the to open? The past tense of that is what? Opened. Now you have to add the pronoun, because the pronoun is built into the verb. That's what it means. So when we say wahid muzakkar ghaib, what does that mean? There's a pronoun inside of this. What kind of pronoun is ghaib? Meaning it's not first person, second person, it's third person. Is it masculine or feminine? It's muzakkar, so it has to be he or they. And is it wahid, so it has to be he. So you have to add the word he opened. When it comes to fataha, the second one, which means now what is tasniya. So this has to be what now? They. So because in English you don't have jewel, both are they. The tasniya and the jama', you both call them what? They. They here, they. And even in you, it gets even worse because you is this one across the board. So what you don't have to say, but I recommend just saying it or mentioning it. When you translate a proper text, you don't say, oh, you two men. It's not really a good translation. But what you can do in brackets, especially in Sarf now, so you get familiarize yourself with what is being said, I want you to put it in brackets. If it's masculine, you put what? Because they is used for both masculine and feminine, dual and plural. So I want you to put a bracket and then put M for masculine and slash D for dual or slash P for plural. And F for feminine. You understand? So that you can familiarize, because if you say they, you'll get rid of it. You don't know if it's masculine, feminine, dual or plural. So I want you to put this in. But when you go further on and start doing translation in bigger text, you don't need to do this. But for now, as an introduction, so that I know that you understand what sigha is, you have to write this. Okay? So do you understand how the mazi is translated? Yeah? So you have to get the past tense of the root verb. So for example, it was close, to close. You say, okay, closed. Then look for the pronoun which matches the sigha. And then add that in, he closed, or he closed, she closed, they closed. Okay? Translating, as I said before, most end in ed. And some are irregular, like send, sent, go, went, sit, sat. That's English. So you have to know your English in advance. That's something I can teach you. It's too much to do. But just so that you have a little idea. So mostly have ed, and then just have some irregular verbs. Okay? One thing that's important is sometimes you'll come up in later on in Bab Samia that some verbs you translate them with to be. For example, the word hazina means to be sad. So how do you translate it? He sadded. You won't say he sadded. You'll say what? You change the to be, so you say he was sad. And then they were sad. I was sad. So if the translation of the root word that's given in the dictionary or given in the table, if that has to be inside, then you will have to change the be to was or were. You don't add the ed. You don't change. You can't, because sad is not a verb. So you can't say sadded. It doesn't make sense. You have to change the be. And why that happens, we'll discuss that later on in Nahwu, inshallah. But this is how you have to make a note of the translation. Okay? Right. Now what I've done here, I've laid out this table, the mazi, in a different form. I put the 3, instead of going all the way down, I put it this way. So 3, I put it, the hazir, the ghaib here, third person, the hazir here, and I put the mutakallim here. Why? So I want you to align and see how the wahids, how they match the pattern of the plural, dual, and the patterns of the plurals. So you can start to realize this the pattern. Now if you look at it here, now fatha is on its own. But all the ones that end in ta, whether it's dhamma, fatha, kasra, or even sukoon, they're all what? Singular. You see? You see the pattern? So fatha obviously the single, and then, so if you go in that order, you have fataha, fatahat, fatahta, fatahti, fatahtu. Do you understand? They all have a very similar pattern. You see? And if you look at the jewels, obviously no jewel mutakallim, but they all have what in the end? Alif. These are fataha, fatahata, fatahtuma, and these two are the same. The muzakkar and muannath of the hadir. In the jewel form, they're both the same. Yeah? You seeing how the pattern is developing? And if you look at this, now, this has fatahna, the one that has a noon at the end is a feminine plural. But this is fatahna, fatahtunna. You seen the pattern? And then you have the na. Okay? So we'll go through more practice, but just to give you a rough idea, let's just focus on the wahids. So everything I'm going to ask you now is going to be wahid. I just want you to tell me now, is it wahid, muzakkar hazir, or muannas hazir, muannas ghaib? So fataha.
So it's muzakkar ghaib.
Muzakkar ghaib. Fatahtu. What's the 13th? So what's that going to be? Mutakallim. So wahid mutakallim. There's no muzakkar muannas there. Fatahta. So wahid muzakkar hazir. And then T, it has T at the end. Muannas hazir. Ta, what is ta? The ta ending, what does that be?
So wahid hazir.
So wahid muzakkar hazir. So can you read all all five to me? Wahids. So read the wahids.
So fataha, fatahat, fatahta, fatahti, fatahtu.
So read it for looking at it now.
Fataha,
Fataha.
fataha, fatahat, فتحت فتحتي فتحت.
You understand? Do you understand?
فتح فتحت فتحت فتحتي فتحت.
Can you do it?
فتح فتحت فتحتي فتحت
No, fatah. What comes first? Fatahta.
فتحتي فتحت.
Yeah? Right. So fatahtu means what? I open. Fatahta.
That means you
Masculine or feminine?
masculine.
You masculine. And you feminine open would be what?
You feminine open فتحتي.
Fatahti. And she open?
فتحت.
Fatahat. Very good. And he open? The first one. We'll practice this inshallah later on. But I want to also analyze it like this.
Yeah.
So get all the wahid patterns together so you're able to pick it up. And each one has, as I said before, when we went to the table, they all have a distinguishing ending. So if you get that ending in your mind, then you make it very easy. Straight away you can start picking them out. Okay? Right. Now, going on, you have this worksheet in your module 1 workbook. But what I want you to do here, I want to go through it together. So we have the word fataha. So what is it? Let's work this way. So what is it? Fataha. Is it wahid, tasniya, jama'?
So it's wahid.
Wahid.
And it's mudakkar.
Mudakkar. And it's
ghaib.
ghaib. How do you translate it?
He opened.
He opened. Next one. So you have fatahna.
That's tasniya.
Tasniya? Okay, what tasniya of what? Read the whole tasrif.
فتحنا.
Read it again. Fataha.
فتحا فتحا فتحو فتحت فتحنا
No, fatahata.
فتحتا فتحنا فتحتا فتحتما فتحتم فتحتي فتحتما فتحتنا فتحتو فتحتا.
Fatah. Fatahna. So what's that?
That's
Mutakallim. And there's no muzakkar muannas. So which one is it? Wahid or jama'?
it's wahid, not jama'.
Jama', because remember all the wahids have what? Ta at the end. Either fataha, fatahat, fatahta, fatahti, fatahtu. So it has a na. So it's going to be what? Jama'. Now because you have both options, what do you have to add in? I would tick both of them. You tick both of them. Because it can be both, muzakkar or muannas.
Or it can be tatniya as well, isn't it?
It can be. I guess it can be tasniya as well. Good point. What will it be here?
It's mutakallim.
Very good. And translate it as?
As I. Okay.
But if it's I, it says jama'. So jama' is plural or singular?
It's plural.
So plural of I is what?
We.
We. So it'll be we opened. You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
ghaib muzakkar
Yeah. Okay, you got ghaib,
muzakkar jama'.
jama', mudhakkar, ghaib. And you translate it as?
You lot.
Why is it you? Because ghaib. Ghaib is second person or third person?
They lot.
They. You don't say lot.
Yeah.
They,
open.
they, and then you put masculine, plural in brackets. So we know, but it's not singular, it's not dual, it's plural, and it's masculine, not feminine. This one, Bismillah. You're practicing before, innit? You see, it worked out when my turn coming up.
Do you know what I realized? I should have done that. Ja'ala is tasniya.
Very good.
And
Read the table if you're confused. Ja'ala.
ja'ala.
So it's there. It's in the first three, so it has to be.
How do I work out muzakkar?
Remember, if you use your hand, I told you, so use the hand, masculine, feminine, and this is then the mutakallim.
Oh,
So,
masculine, feminine.
yes.
Each thing is okay.
Because remember, so if you use a hand, you have, this is ghaib,
Yeah.
hadir, mutakallim. And in the hazir, the first three fingers are, the first three is muzakkar, muannas, mudhakkar, muannas. So ja'ala, ja'al, la. So what is it?
So it's feminine.
How is it feminine? It starts off with what? Ja'ala.
Does it start off with feminine?
The first three. If you remember the table? So you have mudhakkar, the first three. So ja'ala, ja'ala.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Okay, so it's masculine.
So it's mudhakkar. So what is it? Tasniya.
Yeah, muzakkar. And ghaib.
Ghaib. How do you translate it now?
The meaning of ja'ala.
To make.
So that would be they made.
They. But what kind of they? Masculine.
They masculine. Plural. No, sorry. Dual.
They masculine jewel made. Ja'al tu.
Ja'altu is wahid, Mudakkar or mu'annath,
Yeah.
and it's mutakallim.
Meaning?
I made.
I made. You got it? Let's do it the opposite way now. English. So she made. What is that? So what would it be?
Ja'alat.
No, but okay. Let's go first here. What would it be?
So, says, she. Wahid,
Wahid.
mu'annath,
Mu'annas.
and it's ghaib.
Ghaib will be?
Ja'alat.
Ja'alat. We made?
So Jama, and it's both, and it would be mutakallim.
And what would the Arabic be?
We made it.
Ja'ala.
Ja'ala, so it'd be Ja'alna.
Ja'alna. Very good. Your turn? Wahid.
مذكر
Mudhakkar.
مذكر حاضر
Why is it hadir? What's hadir mean?
he's present.
So he, if it's he, how can I present?
Oh yeah, غايب.
Ghaib. And then translate this as what?
جعل.
Yeah. You got the easy one, innit? Okay, you done it this time, innit? You went through it. Okay, come on.
It's واحد
Wahid.
both
Both. Yeah, you did go through it, definitely. Indeed.
and متكلم.
Mutakallim. And the Arabic will be? What would the Arabic
I
be?
didn't do that. جعلنا.
Ja'al?
Nah.
Na. So now, this one is the...
Oh, sorry.
Remember, all the wahids have what at the end?
Two.
Ja'al 2. Okay, Ja'al 2. Stop there, inshallah. Some more. So we'll do this, some more of this practice later on, inshallah. Okay? Any question? Do you understand what's happening?
Get it?
Yeah? So we go through more practice, inshallah, of these exercises, inshallah, later on. Okay?